So it's really just this integration of physically and spiritually, how we can open to more of what we naturally are, who we naturally are, through just allowing the natural communication in the body. And it's really profound how our potential and our health and anything beyond that is really limitless when you understand this principle. Because there is nothing in the body that will actually degenerate or age you if you take care of your fascia. If you keep the fascia hydrated, if you keep the chi communicating and circulating in your body, there is no reason biologically why degeneration would occur. And so this is why fasting and the cleansing process, periodically, right? It doesn't have to be your entire life, although we do teach you guys a way to keep it going every day of your life, because you're just allowing more of your birthright to actually just experience what it's like to have unobstructed youthfulness, rejuvenation. It is possible to live disease-free. It is possible to live without being victim to colds, to viruses, to flus, to all of these things, right? It is possible to stay connected to the higher part of your mind that sees things in a way that feels better, right? You can call it higher consciousness or just putting a better light on things. It is possible to stay connected to all of that in your living experience. And fascia is your substantial, your physical, your mechanical gateway to that. Yeah. I'd just like to add with that, it's so interesting because in Chinese medicine, how you're describing the fascia in the body is really similar to how we describe the Wei Qi and really the autonomic nervous system or the defensive Qi in the body. And we do know that if the fascia is dehydrated, the sinew levels of the body will be constrained. They'll be in defense against the environment. And that's just another way of saying we're stuck in fight, fire, freeze, right? It's another way of saying we're stuck in the survival response. So it's literally constraining our experience. And yet also, when we start to undo the survival response, there is also this undoing of the trauma and the emotions that created the survival response to begin with. You might have heard the saying that your issues live in your tissues, right? They do. And the fascia is where they're living. And so I think a lot of the time, when we have people dealing with like a severe illness, or they get an autoimmune condition, or they're getting a new diagnosis, and it's this idea of, I just got this diagnosis, I now have cancer. What's really happened is that it's been a micro accumulation of every moment in your life where your tissues have stored your issues and where you haven't gone home at night and vibrated your fascia, and really where the body has not been supported in releasing the holding patterns and in releasing its responses to life, its reactions to life that it does in an effort to survive, right? So there's this understanding that really when we start to dissolve that density, we're actually allowing a real expression of our scar tissue, of the sclerosis of the physical body and the mind. And just like Jenny described, our ability on a daily basis to do that housekeeping is not only what's going to keep us clean so that we don't go in with more stuff the next day, but it's actually going to allow a gradual undoing of all the micro accumulations that created that major tumor or scar tissue or disease process that feels insurmountable. So staying connected to your fascia every day, from a Qigong perspective, is staying connected to your Qi. It's your daily Qigong practice. It's staying connected and dropping into that state of the Qigong state or to your meditation, where you can get a sense, even if it's just for a few minutes of the day, where you can get a sense of the wideness and the space and the higher frequencies, or maybe the more spacious vibrations, or however you want to describe it, but the movement of chi in the physical body, right? Reconnecting to that, it allows light, warmth, circulation to constantly be self-purifying, to constantly be renewing you. And that's what we mean about, keeping health or reaching higher consciousness, because if we're constantly renewed on a daily basis, we're a constant open vessel and receiver for the highest of our dreams to actually manifest in our physical body. So it's a pretty cool thing, and it's all in our control. And one last tip I'll add on the physical level is to really understand that your ability to nourish yourself through food, through liquids, is really about the conductivity of that food, right? So whether that is raw living foods, fruits, herbs, these foods that have a huge electric potential in the body, or whether it's just foods, whether or not they're cooked, that are hydrating, that literally draw fluids into the stomach through your meals, through your soups, through foods that have been cooked, and it's got a thickness to it, right? Even if it's a broth, it has a thickness to it, it's got that structure. Every time you bring that into your body, you're supporting your living cells. And anything else you bring into your body might actually be drawing away from the resources that support those cells. So keeping that energy balance, keeping that internal kung fu, is a very mundane thing. It's really about what's coming in, what's moving through, and how we keep this vessel clean and open.